All right, so I wanted to do this video real quick. I'm gonna raise my desk. Give me 1 second. That'll probably help you be able to see it a little bit better. How is that? Oops, I'm pressing the wrong button there. Let's go a little bit further. Get it as close as we can to that screen for you. There you go. So another track working on. So using kind of a mixture of things now. Like, of course, I'm using Keyscape for the chords, Trillion for the bass, which is all Spectrasonics, right? Fractal bit glitch. You can get. That's my dog decided she wanted to come and make it and scratch herself in the middle of a video. But hey, how you doing? Is it itching that bad, huh? She'll be back later. Anyway, Fractal Bits, iPad, but also works on desktop if you buy it for iPad, and you can get the little glitch bits and pieces there and just randomize it and keep randomizing and play the sounds. So what I did was I recorded in a bunch of about 2 pages worth of them, sliced them up with a threshold, and then set the first pad to play random bits, which is one of my favorite new features with 3.0. Kind of like Drombo's Flexi Sampler. If you ever use Drombo's Flexi Sampler, then you know what I mean. And I meant to turn this earpiece off because I don't want it to connect to another device when I have multiple devices going. So give me 1 second to turn that off. And I'm going to get rid of the iPad. Otherwise, it'll try to connect. That's the only thing about iOS devices. They connect everything to, and I wish they would give you a little bit more control and let you deconnect or disconnect, however you want to say it, some of these parts, because it drives me crazy. But anyway, so I'm using an upright bass from Trillion. Usually I'm using like a muted jazz bass, but then I'm using an upright. Let me show you that. So, well, first I'll do the drums. So these drums are from the Jan's Hunter's Chill Hop set, which kind of has R&B, lo-fi, hip hop drums in it. They fit for all those genres. So I got those going on. Okay, play the drum pattern. Then got the upright bass going on. That's the full range Trillion upright bass. And then I just added in the Studio Strings Violin 2 to the arrangement to give it a melody. So if I go track mutes, I'll turn that off and just let you hear each part. So this is the chords. I wish on the track mutes, they would let you time it. So like have options, like if I want this to come in, I could just hit it and it just be ready, instead of it just coming in whenever I press it. I mean, it's great to have either one, and you can of course use these pads too. So that's the random. Now when you leave it on random, just know every time you play it, it's going to randomly play something different. So it's not going to be the same sound all the way through and through unless you bounce it down to an audio. And I'm fine with it not playing the same exact thing. Sounds fine to me. Then I threw in the bass. Then a little melody. Go to the mixer. Violins just to give it something different. And that's it. And if you go to the arranger, you'll see it's on the arranger. Eight bars. Double the length, let's make it 16, why not? Because that's more of my lane I like to live in. And then mute this first one. I guess I didn't mute the right one, that was the bass I muted. My bad. So when you like hear, because they don't put this in clips, which is one of my biggest complaints was they should put that in clips so that I can just divide up spots where I want to do it, whatever. It'd be a little bit easier. You pretty much know that you're going to have to go in and just remove the part you want to remove. Otherwise, you're going to have it repeating itself. And that's where it can be a little more challenging. Oops. Because I can't just split the audio. Would you work? So you got to do something like that. And then maybe shift delete. Do it again. As far over as you can. Shift delete. Let's see. It's probably like a few notes left. Yeah. That maybe. Shift delete. And there you go. So now you have it on one. So nobody wants to edit that way. If I'm blatantly honest, that's lame. Because it should be quicker than that. And that's where it's going to be on them to decide. And I say them, I mean Akai. To decide, are they going to make these parts clips? So if I double something especially, it should become a clip. It really just should be that either way. If I play 8 bars, it should be just a clip for 8 bars. Not anything less, but just that. And there you go. So I wanted to do one just to show people, because I know a lot of my other ones, it was just me recording in, that I could do. I could use a little bit of both. I could use the MIDI. If I use the MIDI for certain things, depending on what it is, percussion, I probably use MIDI on that for sure. So any samples I do will have MIDI. And then occasionally I'll use the instruments. I actually like the studio strings pretty good. They're not Swam instruments good, but they're good enough for what it's worth. And then I think the best stuff on here is the drumming and sampling, in my opinion, when it comes down to it. And then, of course, you can record in, so that's not a big deal either. So there you have it. So you can do this, a little editing. And if you're not really into editing, and you don't really want to edit in here, just build the basic foundation of the track, and then ship your parts out to a desktop and finish on the desktop. And there you go. Or finish on the iPad or wherever you finish your music, and you should be good. So that's really it for this video. Just a little sample of making a song. It's not a lot to this song. Little perk, little drums, upright bass, violin for the melody. Something else fun you could do too is, like, I went in the mixer, by the way, and I'll show you on here so you can see the effects. So I put a little Air Pro, a dual simple Air Delay Pro, added a little bit of feedback, a little bit of the diffusion, a little bit of the modulation. It was already on analog, so just to give just to give it a little extraness to the violin playing. And then probably one other thing I might do is go into here to the fractal bits. And sometimes I'll put I either do a delay or I'll do a reverb, whichever one I'm feeling at the time. I was thinking about messing around with not the soft clipper, but where is it? Granulator on it. and throw it on. But let me see if there's something in there like textures. You know what? Go to the rhythmic one and see what's in there. Tornado. Let's try that, see what it does. This is really good for textural stuff. Ooh, see like fractals with it? Kind of cool. I actually like that. I'd probably turn it down in the mix though. So it's a little more subtle. Maybe even less than that. There, where it's just super subtle. I'm honestly trying to force myself to use these effects. I would probably not use these effects normally. I'm not, other than the Air Pro, Delay Pro, and the, what's the other one? The Flavor Pro, which is pretty good for certain things. Most of the time, I wouldn't use them. I wouldn't use this stuff too much. And then I've shown you guys this before. You can go down to your outputs if you want and throw something on there if you want, like a soft clipper. I don't want that on there. I like the way the drums sound without all that extraness on them. But you could go and put the soft clipper on if you wanted to, maybe there, and then turn this drive down a little bit just in case. But if you need your drums up, that's all I would do. If the drums sound pretty good. See, because I don't need a lot of drive on them. Adjust the mix accordingly. Sounds pretty good. Not bad. And you can see I'm not even using that many tracks. I mean, what is that, 4 tracks? If I broke the drums out, it would still only be, what, another 4? So you'd be, technically this would become 4, and this would be 4. So you're using 8 tracks total. So not bad. And just for purpose of checking it, I think you check the CPU up here. Is it up here? No, that's the notes. There you go. It's not using a ton of resources. But if you start loading this thing up with plugins and all that, sure. The one thing you can't do is purge samples. Because if you purge samples and you got, like, let's say for instance on this glitch track, right? You got to be careful with purging. I'm not sure how that works because it technically is using all the samples, but it's doing the one at a time. If you purge, I'm not sure if it'll take all those away that it's not using, and then you'll end up with one sample or something. So I would just say don't purge samples unless you really have to. Or if you're going to do that, then go ahead and mix down the fractal bit, something like that, just in case it loses your other portions of your samples. I don't know for sure that it'll do that, but I'm just saying I would be careful with the purge on this one, just because of the way it's set up. Let's see here. menu. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this video. Just wanted to do a video on putting together a track using both internal sounds and external sounds. And I thought it would be cool to use a couple of the effects on there too for you. All right, that's it for this video. I'm out.